There are times when the inadequacy of words to convey feelings and emotions of the moment becomes all too apparent, and today is one of those occasions. Historical reference may help us bridge that gap. Words of the past sometimes apply as much in our day as when uttered in an earlier time. Abraham Lincoln has already been mentioned today here. 145 years ago, Abraham Lincoln said, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here." Indeed, that is our theme today with this memorial program, to never forget what they did here in our time. For loved ones, families, friends, and fellow Marines, the size of the war is really of little consequence. The tragic loss of each individual is permanent, and for those left behind, the hurt will not go away. Almost every war or combat engagement in our history has been analyzed, thought about, talked about over and over and over and over again as to whether it was or is simply right or wrong as our nation's policy. Historians, scholars, political scientists, and elected officials will make studied judgments pro or con, but most importantly, the true final authority of right or wrong in our democracy rests in the slowly forming views of every individual American. But those we honor and their fellow Marines here today did not wait for those long-term judgments of history, those verdicts of history, to be their guide. It was simple. Their nation was at war, and they volunteered. That's all it was. Bands playing and flags flying were left far behind. They knew combat of the toughest kind, urban warfare, hard, tough action, where each individual's life depends on the training, the trust, reliance, and interaction with just a few other Marines. When the shooting starts and the tracers fly, their universe becomes very, very small. Dependence on each other has never been greater. Marine training has always stressed those relationships to fellow Marines, Corps, and country. In World War II days, I remember a statement by one of my first commanding officers when he said, "Marine training makes a person more afraid of letting his buddies down than he is of getting hurt himself." That's a training, a camaraderie, and dedication to a greater common purpose that lasts and it wins battles for our country. The Marine Corps motto, Semper Fidelis, means always faithful. The shortened version, Semper Fi, which Marines, present or past, sometimes use as a greeting to one another, is also an acknowledgement of a long and honored shared heritage. Members of the Lima Company, you've known the terrible agony of losses. You've known what it's like to box up a few remaining personal effects, a wallet, a couple of pictures, a book or two, and ship them home. You've known the impossible, the heart-rending experience of trying to compose a meaningful letter to a mother, a father, a wife, or a family at home. You've experienced buddies being forced across that ultimate divide we all will someday cross. They went ahead of their normal years, but I firmly believe that we all will sometime join, and know them again. Until then, to family, to all those depicted in Anita Miller's great paintings who did not make it back, and to those of Lima Company present, you have indeed kept the faith to fellow Marines, to Corps, and to this great nation. Semper Fi, Marines.